Hey, boys, I have to delete that other weather report because I keep hitting it. Friday, May 13th, the weather report. Friday the 13th. And
it is Friday the 13th.
I'm 26,060 days old today. So I hit 60. How about that?
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing.
Hey, I'm going to put a link in the side chat. It's nothing sciencey at all. It is basically it's segments, little snippets from the Batman movie with the original Batman, Adam West, and other of those 1966 era villains overlaid on it, so that instead of the new Batman, you're getting the old Batman with the new the new cars and things like that. It's really funny.
Really?
I think it came from Corridor Crew.
Came from what?
The Corridor Crew.
Yeah, I saw that. But they have kind of the how-to video, and this one is I'm gonna call it the Batman.
So I'm gonna see Doctor Strange on Sunday. My son rented a theater. How about that?
Wow.
We get our own theater.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll go see Doctor Strange this weekend.
Yeah. Well, you could come here. We can have as many up to like 20 people, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Fly over. Yeah.
Well, if Minnesota were Arkansas or Oklahoma, maybe, but Minnesota's way up there.
Oh, you're in Texas.
Minnesota. Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Aren't you kind of afraid?
I don't feel afraid. It's like watching the news and I go, man, that's a backward state. And then I realize, oh, I live here.
Yeah.
But so, some of the stuff hits you, but the sad thing is I'm not a woman of childbearing age who has to make decisions and have the state make decisions for you that are none of their business.
Well, they might start executing atheists.
Yeah, if they, who knows?
If this guy here, Stephen Meyer, gets his way.
I'll just climb up on the rooftop and raise my hands in the air and go, I'm an atheist, come and get me.
Yeah.
And then see how many of the bubbas in the neighborhood want to use me for target practice.
Yep. Zoom whole page. What the hell? That ain't right.
Or we could take over a TV station and just like read from Andrew Seidel's book, and I can't remember the name of it. It's over there in my bedroom, which I'm not in. The founding myth, about secularism and things people misunderstand about the Constitution and the amendments. It's a really good book. I recommend it for everybody. The Founding Myth.
So Professor Dave came out with a video exposing the Discovery Institute Part 2, part of his series. And this one is on Stephen Meyer. And just a tremendous amount of information in here about the Cambrian explosion and intermediate fossils. What do you call them? I forget what they're called. Anyway, and what else? And genetics. And the whole thing is just packed with information. And he has links to a ton of papers. And it's just really worth watching. Oh my goodness, we keep popping them up. So, Andrew, did you watch this? Professor Dave's takedown of Stephen Meyer?
No, unfortunately.
Oh my God, it's just filled with good stuff. It's just amazing.
It's brutal if you're some sort of ID or creationist, and it is dense with paper references. You're right, and if you're a creationist out there and you really want to actually understand the secularist viewpoint and the scientific view of evolution, I suggest you study those Professor Dave videos closely and look at the papers that he references, because you will definitely learn something.
Yeah, let's see their goals. So anyway, they put out this Wedge document, and then they got somebody leaked it, and they got so much shit.
And that was in like the 90s, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. They put out this further this was a document that was meant to get funding from all of these rich fundamentalists that, donate money to this kind of crap. Yeah. And so they put this out, and then they got so much heat over it that they put out another little article called The Wedge Document. So what? And it's like, and they say, oh no, we didn't say anything about a theocracy, and they didn't call it a theocracy, but their governing goals to defeat scientific materialism and its destructive moral, cultural, and political legacies. Okay, to
replace it with
materialistic explanations with a theistic understanding that nature and human beings are created by God. And their 5-year goals to see intelligent design theory as an accepted alternative in the sciences and scientific research being done from the perspective of design theory. So that's the wedge, right? But then
the wedge.
If you look at their 20-year goals, to see intelligent design theory as the dominant perspective in science. So between their 5-year goals and their 20-year goals, they have the softer approach on the 5-year goals. Let's just get it into the schools. Let's get it into let's
teach
get it
the
into
controversy.
Right. Let's just allow it as an alternative view, and then we'll go ahead and we'll wedge it in there, and then we'll have it as the dominant view. And their 20-year goals to see design theory applications in specific fields, including molecular biology, biochemistry, paleontology, physics, and cosmology, in the natural sciences, psychology, ethics, politics, theology, and philosophy in the humanities. To see its influence in the fine arts. What the fuck are they thinking there?
They want everybody to watch stupid TV shows.
Right. And then to see design theory permeate a religious, cultural, moral, and political life. Is that not a fucking theocracy?
That's a theocracy.
Yeah.
So do they think that science is just a thought process and not actual imperial discoveries and stuff?
I don't think
they think that thinking just to want to make a
not a thought process,
like a logical argument and stuff, and then think that's science.
It's not a thought process. It's a Bible reading process. There's no thinking involved. You're reading the Bible and accepting it as true. Mainline renewal movements began to appropriate insights from design theory and to repudiate theologies influenced by materialism. Okay, so they want to stomp out other theologies, like Buddhism.
Oh, that's so American.
Oh, it is. Positive uptake in the public opinion polls on issues such as sexuality, abortion, and belief in God. This is what this fucking shit is all about.
Yep.
It's just, God damn them.
That's what you get for taxing the rich at such low rates.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's where their spare money goes.
So, Professor Dave just does a really good job here.
Apparently, Nestlig and Jackson Wheat did contribute to that effort, because if you see what's in the side chat.
Oh, cool. Nice. Well, I'm putting that chat up there. Yeah. So the whole thing is, there's just he's got just a wealth of information where he takes down every single little piece. And goes on and explains like intermediate fossils, and genetics is the last part. I think the
With,
fossil
with all the critters that they show us from the Cambrian and all, pre-Cambrian and all that, I would just hate to go for a swim during that time. It's like,
yeah,
what are you going to get in your body by doing that?
Yep. So I think some of the papers that he's going over, I think we might try to do a paper trails on a couple of them, the Cambrian stuff.
Sounds
good. I have a great deal to learn there,
especially if they're like benchmark kind of papers.
Yep. So I don't know. Anyway, Professor Dave, this series is like going to be a reference for years to come, basically, on this kind of stuff. I think he's doing what he did. Casey Luskin, I think the last one was Casey Luskin.
Yeah, that was his part 1.
Yeah, part 1, and that was really good. And they're extensive. Well, this one is 39 minutes. This one is like Stephen Meyer got an hour and 15 minutes. So,
I've heard of Stephen Meyer more than I've heard of Casey Luskin.
Yeah, but I have heard of Casey Luskin, and I've been horrified at some of the content that he's put out. It was horrifying, horrifying.
I watched a video. I forget whose channel it was, and somebody in the side chat probably already knows. It was entitled "The Jewish Matt Powell," and it was a guy who kind of dressed like a rabbi, but he's not really a rabbi, talking about how evolution is wrong and everything, and it was just stupid and silly. But I'm not sure who did it. Otherwise, I'd post the link. Hello, Ian Chen, official.
Hey, Ian Chen. So I really hate I hate parents who put up their baby pictures. Scott,
You do?
Well, everybody hates them. But anyway, this is my baby. He just hatched this morning, and he's struggling to crawl around a leaf, and that is at 180 power. So he could crawl across a salt crystal. What the spikes that you're seeing there? Those are little tiny hairs that you can't see on a plant leaf.
Oh,
he's crawling between all the plants, and I named him Butthead because he swings around here, and you'll see he struggles he ends up running into one of those spikes, and he can't figure out how to get around it. He's just like, okay, that one. Now he's bumping heads up, so he's butting his head against it. So I named him Butthead, and he reminded me of Stephen Meyer a lot. So he's sitting there now. He's thinking, it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But you can see there's little joints in his leg. I mean, this is you remember those pearlescent little teardrop eggs that I showed the other day, yesterday, I think. Anyway, this is what they hatch into, and I caught one that had just hatched minutes before, but I have not yet caught one hatching.
So he's bumping into those filaments on the plant, right? So Does that mean he can't see them? But he has what looks like
he has two little red eyes there. I don't know what they do, but yeah, he probably can't see. Well, they
probably don't detect filaments on plants.
Yeah, the little guy just doesn't know what to do with this thing. He just keeps hitting it.
Maybe some wiring has to take place in his little simple neurology.
Yep. Anyway, this is the plant is a hackberry, and it's related to an elm, I think. And this is a Pachycilla celtis mama. Pachycilla celtis mama. I don't know why they named it that, but
is its natural environment?
Yeah. They only attack that one tree, one plant. So, and I happen to have one in my yard, and I have and they'll form blisters, so they make the tree look horrible. Apparently, they don't damage the tree at all. The tree can, coexist with them. And what they do is, so these flies hatched out of the bark on the ground and the leaves underneath the plant, the tree, in the spring, like probably about 3 weeks ago. and they landed on these leaves and they laid those little pearl eggs on them, and then they hatch into this guy. Now this guy will start eating the leaves, and the plant has a reaction where it encapsulates this guy. So it basically covers him with a little blister. And then he keeps eating until he gets to a certain size, and then he breaks open. And I suspect he turns into something else, and I'm not sure what, some other kind of fly. And then they mate, lay eggs, and those eggs fall off the leaves onto the ground, and the cycle repeats. So they have two different larval stages, apparently, that happen. And next spring, I'm going to search the ground underneath this tree to see if I can find the first larval stage and the first eggs, because there's two different types of eggs. So it's got a pretty complicated life. And this guy is a true bug, I guess, Hemiptera, I think. Yeah, Hemiptera. And suborder Sternorhyncha, family Aphelaridae, and genus Pachycilla. So anyway, I'm so happy that I figured this whole bug thing out. I don't know. It took me a while.
Well, that's interesting. Keeps you out of trouble. I'm glad it keeps you out from wandering out in the streets and getting lost.
See, he got loose now, and now he's really taken off. He's really getting a look. I mean, this guy just started walking a few minutes ago. You can imagine.
Oh, you gonna have any more new births?
The thing is, when they're at this form, okay, that is a very simple animal. And if you look at what was going on in the Precambrian, the thing is that the embryology to get to this phase is very shallow. It doesn't have to, the tissue types do not have to go through a whole lot of transformation to become the final animal. And this thing started, has a nervous system and started walking. Well, in the Precambrian, there was this shallow embryology, right, where things were at a much more basal state. And that's one of the reasons why within about 25 million years, of course, Stephen Meyer and the creationists, they take the greediest form of that and they try to say, oh, it's like 10 million years. I mean, they'll narrow it down as much as they can. But even if it's 10 million years, you've got 10 million or more generations of an animal, okay? And the thing is, with those simple body plans that are not very deep, they don't have to go through too many transformations, there's a possibility of very small mutations making very broad changes in body types, in how the egg divides and the gastrulation phase and how the egg forms. A very small change can end up with a very different body plan, and I think that's what was going on in the Cambrian. And then once those body plans are set, and things are descendants of those body plans, it becomes more rigid what they can do as far as evolution. So it would happen slower. What do you think of that, Andrew? I don't know. Andrew's gone.
Andrew.
He fell asleep. You fall asleep again, Andrew?
Or he may have to go out and feed the dog or
No,
something.
I'm just thinking about what you said.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Now, if you look at what was going on Precambrian, they were simpler plans, I think. So basically, simpler body plans, much simpler embryos, and they were more like this bug. So there was a lot of that stuff going on. And then they went through this phase where they started adding mutations and adding structure, and then they became predatory on one another, and that kind of drove them to add even more and more. And then we ended up with the Ostrocoderms with the armor on them, and then jaws and whatever. But I think it all happened really fast. And if you look at 25 million years, you could be looking at as much as 50 million generations, and there's a lot of room for body plan changes in that time period.
I just want to say I'm very jealous of the what looks like pleasant weather you have up in Minnesota today. It's what, mid 70s?
Yeah, but it was like 90 yesterday.
Yeah, it's 96 right now.
Yeah,
And here in my little part of Texas.
pretty bad. There's one of the flies.
Plus, tonight's our turn to get some questionable weather.
Oh, we've been having just tremendous storms every night. But now it's cool. Now it's going to go up to 95 again tomorrow, and then it's going to freak out again and go down. Well, this is a short one, I think. This is also at 180. Or, well, no, this is probably at about 100. That's 180. That's the guy's face.
Is that same wasp you were showing us?
Not a wasp. No, this is that little fly, Pachycilla. This is okay. This thing is smaller than a grain of salt.
Wow,
Fly, or about the size of a grain of salt.
that's a pretty good magnification, then, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I put on my second lens so I can go up to 180 now.
Have you ever looked at a grain of salt under there?
No, I haven't. I should. Okay, now I'm zooming out a little bit, and let's see if I got another one here.
Zoom.
I got some. Oh, what is that? I don't know what that one is.
Well, Andrew, what did you think of the image of the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which is, of course, our galaxy that we reside in?
Which one?
Well, I thought there was just like one image taken because they had to process it for so long.
I haven't been looking at it recently. So
well, with
I
your
don't know
interest in
which one you're
cosmology,
talking
I
about.
figured you might have heard about it.
And I guess not my kind of astronomy there then.
Okay.
What were you talking about?
Milky Way black hole.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll bring it up. I'm going to share my screen, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I have it on today's top picks of the day on my website.
Yeah. This is a little fuzzy of it, but I don't know if those three bright spots are like going to be more or less permanent, for millennia, or if there are going to be conditions that, make it different, or even if those bright spots are significant at all. But yeah, that's what it looks like in the middle of our galaxy. And I think this is a smaller one than the one they showed for Galaxy M87.
I think it's brighter because it's closer to us. That's
it may be brighter because it's closer to us, but there was a lot of noise in the image, from particles and space dust and everything blocking it. So they had to spend a lot of time processing this image and accounting for a lot of the interference. So anyway,
Very fast and made a good video recently about how
I've been tempted to watch that, but for some reason, every time I think about it, I just end up not doing it. So I'll probably be more likely to watch it now that somebody else has seen it and can recommend it.
it does why the horizon and stuff, why we get that weird shape that when we look at it from side of it, it has like a top and bottom when it's a disc. So we're like seeing the backside of the black hole or something like that.
Hallelujah, Ox. We found it. We found the Trinity.
What's he talking about?
Well, we were
the free legs or what?
Well, no, the three bright spots in that image of the.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we found it.
Hallelujah. Oh no, it's not hallelujah. It's Eureka, which literally means I have found it.
Oh.
Oh, that's.
Did anybody like that TV show they had a long time ago now?
The science fiction show Eureka, yeah, that was one of my son's favorite sci-fi series.
I've been watching Evil.
Evil.
And last night, the priest, the guy that David, who was going to become a priest, he said that somebody was talking about the evil in the Bible, and he said, "Oh no, that's just Old Testament stuff, because New Testament stuff's all better." So, like, I was thinking, God enjoyed killing his son so much that he became a nicer, softer, kinder God, or whatever. But that Old Testament stuff, now that's brutal shit. You don't want that.
So Eric 311 says Evil on Paramount Plus is great. So is that like a present tense, ongoing series, or is that like an old series that they're just keeping around?
Ongoing. Season 2 is out now of Evil.
Well, I might have to pull that up and see. Is it horror or is it like dark mysticism or?
It's kind of like dark. I don't know if you'd call it comedy. There's a little bit of, it's kind of interesting, but it starts out as like any other weird TV series, right? But it slowly gets weirder and weirder. And
weirder. The underlying secret plot,
it
unfolds.
It's 3 people working for the Vatican. One is an atheist, or he's secular, and he's a tech guy. And then there's a secular psychologist, and then there's a priest to be, David, who is the believer. And they go out and they determine whether or not this is a real spiritual thing that requires an exorcism, or whether they can explain it with natural causes. And so it's sort of like it hints at supernatural explanations, but it never quite confirms them. So it's kind of interesting. But it gets weirder and weirder and weirder.
Oh, and I just want to say, spoiler, the Da Vinci Code is Apple. I just wanted to spoil the movie Da Vinci Code for you. Now it's ruined.
Yep, it is.
Apple. It's Apple.
You can tell I'm fascinated with my fly, eh?
You're a fly. You're a fly voyeur.
I like my fly. I like them.
You're so fly. You're super fly.
What up?
To derail the stream a bit, have we ever gone over what?
How can you derail what is already laying in the ditch?
Yeah. We were never railed to begin with.
We were never railed, so don't worry about derailing.
Oh, okay. Have we ever gotten any video? Creation Ministries International, right?
Yeah.
Right, because you've gotten some subscriptions to them, right?
Yeah, CMI, Christian Ministries International, have a bunch of dumb people who put on videos.
Have we ever reviewed one of their live type videos? By any chance, I can't remember.
No, we haven't, but we should.
I know that.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if we don't have anything else to do today, maybe we could do that. I don't know. Just throwing out suggestions.
Well, yeah, if we could find one. Like Acts and Facts, I get that every month. And I've been trying to find it online. I'm pretty sure, because I pay them. So I'm pretty sure I could get, I paid them for a year. I should be able to get it online, and we should go through some of those. There's Acts and Facts, and I think that's AIG, isn't it? I get confused.
Probably, yeah.
It's funny because Acts is like one of the least historical histories ever written.
Yeah.
Ham and eggs.
Yep. I'm trying to find stuff. There's a kitty. I see a kitty. I'm trying to find.
I'll be back in just a minute. I got to take care of a dog.
Okay. You got a link to one?
I could go find one. Might take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Crispy cock.
Yeah, if you find one, we can take a look at it.
Okay.
Ooh,
all right. Yeah.
It's a video?
Let me look. Yeah, you can look too if you want. We got 2 eyes better than 1. Wait, 2 eyes better. What am I saying?
2 eyes is better than 1.
I mean, that's true, but that's not what I meant to say.
2 sets of eyes are better than 1.
2 sets. There we go.
I think 2 eyes is better than 1 too. I think I can make a case for 2 eyes being better than 1.
Yeah.
I think I can make that case. Too
So
bad,
what are we
this,
looking for?
too bad this is sideways. Ooh, that is. Why is that coming through so grainy? That is so grainy. Grainy, grainy, grainy. Hi, kitty.
I swear, I used to watch these guys in their show, basically, and it just is the thing that got me, or I should say, one of the things that got me infuriated with the whole debate.
So what are we looking for?
There's something good.
I mean, you guys were talking about it earlier. The two
Uh-huh.
sets of eyes were better than one, so how about
Sam,
a third set?
Ooh,
Sam,
distant starlight. Hold on.
that's not-
Might have found something. Hold on. Distant starlight, is it a problem for Yarn of Creation? Looks like. Hold on.
I think it is.
It is, but I like to deny it.
Oh, you're gonna do a cosmology thing. I like biology better.
Yeah.
I don't really know cosmology.
Cosmology is kind of my thing.
Kind of sucks. Is it your thing?
I guess everything, every kind of science almost is my thing too. That's why I have a website.
I would just love to. I would just love to sit down and devote my life to that, but I don't think I have time. I don't think I can do that.
Okay, I just want to comment real quick in this. The description of the video is just looking at, but we're not going to go over. Because you like your biology.
No, you can no. We bring it up if it's what you want to do, Andrew. I'm easy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Are you gonna?
I'm not gonna yell at you.
Oh, I think I just found a new channel. I don't know why I'm excited about finding a new creationist channel.
Shouldn't be scared too that other people don't care for things. You just keep showing it anyways.
Bring one up.
If
Bring
it's
one up.
something you like, you.
All right. I'll
Oh.
pull this one up. Hold on. I gotta go back. Hold on.
Oh, are you gonna
back.
are you gonna link it to me so I can play it, or
Yeah, it'd probably be easier if you play it because my thing sucks. Okay. Let me copy the link.
I'll see if I can put it up.
Okay, sorry. The thing I wanted to comment real quick was just in the description of this video I'm about to link. They said "big bangers" like to say. Why does that sound so funny?
What?
Or here, I'll link and you can see for yourself. All right. Link in private chat.
Okay.
So let's see.
We should change the name from Big Bang to Big Expansion.
Big expansion. Those big expansionists and their silly ideas.
This is what Dr. Rob. Now, wait a minute. I'm confused. Neither of these two people are astronomers or cosmologists, right?
Well,
Dr.
that should
Robert
make it all the more entertaining, right?
And who is Dr. Jonathan Safardi?
I've heard the name.
You mean Jason Lyle?
No, Dr. Jonathan Safardi. That's what I'm looking at. Oh, I'm not showing the video.
Oh.
I show the video. Okay, I'm confused. So it's distant starlight, and these two pop up. Okay, Carter is.
I didn't even notice that.
He's a biology teacher, and what is Dr. Jonathan Safardi?
I think he's a biochemist.
Yeah. What the fuck?
or maybe just a chemist. I'm not entirely sure. I know
You see why I'm confused?
Your
Yeah.
name is in the way of the first guy.
Well, look, they even say PhD in marine biology.
Yeah, okay, it's right
and
there.
I'm showing astronomy. That's hilarious.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get rid of. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get rid of our.
Also, Tangelo was here. Hey, Tangelo.
Oh, Tangelo's here. God damn it!
For some reason, he thought he'd just come in and call Professor David dummy.
No.
The guy with two master's degrees.
Okay, so the other one is
science.
What is the other one? I can't read it.
I don't know, go full screen, I guess.
Well, good day, everyone. Welcome to another Creation Talk
Yep,
podcast.
Physical
It's-
chemistry.
Okay, physical chemistry, right?
Neither which anything to do with cosmology.
Right.
Bravo. Which I mean isn't a strike against him, and to be fair, but it does raise some eyebrows. Let's just say.
It does. Yeah, because they have other, like, they always do this. Like they have PhDs or people with geology degrees, and then they have a biochemist talk about geology instead of the person
Right.
with a degree, right? Why do they do that?
Because they know if they bring up someone with a degree in the actual subject, they're going to actually talk facts about the subject. They're
No,
not
but
gonna
they
give
never
the-
do, because I have heard them talk too, and they don't talk.
Oh,
I mean,
really? Oh,
No, they don't talk facts. No.
well, that sucks.
When we're
Oh.
talking about this
Okay, you want to listen?
Oh,
Sure.
I was just gonna say,
Unless
Starlight,
you have
Because they
something
have-
else to do.
most
I was just gonna say, just because they have PhDs doesn't mean they can't know about other subjects.
Yeah, you can know about other
Just
subjects.
like we do, don't have PhDs at all, and we can talk about other subjects. Just because
Yeah, but
other
if I had a,
but it's the source that matters most. The source
yeah, but
is where.
when Andrew Cumming is here and the subject is cosmology, I let him talk. I don't talk.
Well, I think like the PhD is a sign of they're an expert or not. Like you are correct that the source is what ultimately matters. But if you're a PhD in geology talking about chemistry or just a completely unrelated topic, like I said, that's not a count against you, but you are going to have to work a bit harder than someone who actually has a degree in chemistry, for example.
Right.
Mhm.
Just
They're
because
trying to-
you're
it's
talking
kind of
outside
trying to
the
be a
normal field.
little bit misleading. That's all they're trying to do more.
Yeah.
Saying just because they have PhDs, like the layman person wouldn't think anything more about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't think like their actual
Because
field.
you can
that
talk
they-
about anything you want. It just matters whether or not you're an expert in what you're talking about, so to speak. I think is the point to be made.
Mhm.
Yes, the Hobbin documentary is the weakness of Hobbin. So that's the one.
Very thorough, and I look forward to future documentaries from Clinton Mitchell.
Is that
Yeah.
the same Dave from the after show the other day?
I'm not sure. Is that captive desk?
With the desk, yeah.
Yeah. I subscribe to his channel, so other people should too. He's got 2 videos on there. One on miracles where he interviews somebody, and he's got, let's see here, he's got one other video. He's got one on science in the Holy Land. So he has 2 videos so
Oh,
far.
it's him. Hey, Dave.
Science!
Nice to see you.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
Yep.
And
We can
let's
get the video now.
distant starlight.
commonly asked questions that we get in church meetings and public meetings. I'm Dr. Jonathan Sarfati. I'm with.
I'm Dr. Robert Carter, and yes, this is definitely one of the most asked questions.
So why is this a problem?
Well, it's a problem because the Bible specifically says the earth is only a few thousand years old,
No,
no.
whoa, stop.
much more
Mm,
than six.
Stop.
You
It
mean-
does not specifically say that. There's no passage that says the earth began at this particular date. People do a lot
Humans-
of
I think he
I made
meant
a
to say if
conclusion.
you look at the Bible through a young Earth creationist lens, then it says that.
Right. Well, even if there's no way that's true, you calculate it based on your interpretation, and you come up with that number.
Right.
So, in fact, I think the writers of the Hebrew Old Testament kind of engineered it to where it made the earth look like 4,000 years old at the time the second temple was built or something like that. But for information on that, go to Useful Charts on YouTube.
So some dude he added up all the genealogies, right? And that's what he came up with.
The ancestry in
Yeah.
the book where it says they begot this person, just for like 2
Yeah,
pages.
Bishop
Right.
Usher did that, and they were doing that, in the BCEs as well. It was just a common practice to try to add all that up. Although the list themselves, they not to be taken literally, or you fall on your face.
Do they call those the beatitudes? The Beatitudes.
They ought to.
Yeah, the Beatitudes. I looked at I tried to read Genesis once. I read the first part and then the second part, and then I saw the Beatitudes, and I thought, no, fuck no.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when they have to tell you how to read the Bible. Like,
Yeah,
don't read the begats at first.
but then there were two different Genesis. Like they started with they went through the whole story, and then they changed the whole story and did it again, and I'm like, no, fuck you. No.
Yeah.
I'm just, and I that's about as far as I got in the Bible.
Oh yeah, by the way, just saying, if we're gonna review this, do you have it in the description yet or no?
Oh no, I don't. I'll put it in there.
That would probably be a good idea, huh?
Well, thank you there, Andrew. You keep me honest. I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and if anybody wants to stop the video, it's Dannykins.
6,000 or so years for light to cross the universe. It's much larger than 6,000 light years in diameter.
Well, seems to be a big issue. But from my understanding is that the Big Bangers also have far too many light years per year.
Yeah, this is something you explained to me years ago, something called the horizon problem. Explain to the audience what the horizon problem is.
Yeah, I first learned about this from Dr. Jason Lyle. See, the horizon problem talks about how far you can see it. You can't see past the horizon because we are on
Just pause one quick second.
The point is,
Dannykins?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
It's funny if the expert who needs to rely on the other expert who is relying on another expert. I don't know. It just cracks me up.
So what are they talking about with this horizon problem?
So we don't need to get into their description of it. It's basically, if you think of the temperature of the universe as observed in the CMB, it's remarkably uniform. There are some anisotropies, like differences in density in one part in like 100,000, 10,000, and basically beyond that, the CMB is pretty uniform. Now the problem is with the expansion rate back then, and just based off of the Hubble expansion that we see today, there wouldn't have been enough time for distant parts of the universe to interact with one another, to exchange light photons, so that it all kind of mixes out evenly, like you see with a cup of water and different dyes you pour into it. Like in order for it to even out, you need the dyes to have time to blend together and become homogeneous, basically. So it's kind of the same thing here. How do you get this uniform when there wasn't enough time for distant parts to communicate because you're bound by the speed of light?
Okay. What is
Hey,
the
Speed, are we putting out the link?
I did. Oh, you mean the link in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Put it up.
Because there's some folks in here that it would be really nice to have hop in.
Well,
Yeah.
I invited a whole lot of people, and only a couple of them showed up. So
Apparently, we're not cool anymore.
no, we're not cool. Okay, should I go ahead and play this?
Sure.
Play away.
The universe became transparent. Light could that was supposed to be 300 and something thousand years after the Big Bang. Light could start going through, but when you look at the temperature all the way around, everything is so uniform in temperature, about 1 part in 100,000 or so. Because to get the same temperature, you have to go from energy from hot to cold things. And the fastest this can happen is the speed of light, and yet the universe is about 10 times too large for the temperature to.
Now, is that true if space is expanding? Can't space expand faster than the speed of light? And wouldn't that also affect cooling?
It is true that space can, kind of using colloquial language, expand faster than the speed of light, but the interaction itself is limited by the speed of light, because the interaction itself is
Because
from
they're
material.
going at the speed of light, and
Yeah,
they can't
the
get
interactions
faster.
from particles,
Okay.
and particles can't go faster than the speed of light. So yeah, he is
Gotcha.
correct there.
What? Andrew Cumming almost talked to Cell last night?
Almost.
Talk about burying the lead.
What do you mean almost? What happened? What?
So he was on. I joined, and then he left. He said he was gonna rejoin, but I didn't see him rejoin. So then I kind of left.
Where
Did he get
were
a
you?
look of terror in his eyes when you came on?
Girl stream last night.
You know, I have to tell you, Andrew. Sometimes I get a look of terror in my eyes when you come on.
Gur had a stream and I didn't get an invite. I didn't get
I'm
an
just
invite.
kidding.
Gur, I didn't get an invite.
Shame, girl.
Yeah, Gur hardly ever says anything to me anymore.
God, what a
He's gotten too big.
yeah, he's so huge.
That's okay. I got my puppy here. My puppy loves me.
Celebrated all
Come back, Gibbs. Come back.
Don't talk to Gibbs now. We're playing a video.
across the universe. You look to your north and you look to your south or whatever. They're supposed to be, say, 30 billion light years apart from each other. They're the same temperature, and yet the universe is supposed to be only 15 billion years old in the Big Bang. There's not enough time for light
Jenkins. I don't know where he's getting those numbers, because those numbers are kind of outdated, and also, well, like the 30 billion, for example, is that's the diameter of the universe if you were assuming that it were static, like, because that the actual age of the universe is not 15 billion years, it's more like 13.8 billion years. So that's the outdated part. And the thing is, which Otangelo did kind of point out in the side chat earlier, if you were to assume that the universe were static, then it would be 13.8 billion light years in radius on either side. So that would be close to about 30 billion light year diameter. But because of the expansion, it's actually more, and also accounting for the acceleration in the expansion for the past 6 or so billion years, the actual radius of the observable universe today, if we were to go to it today, would be about 46 billion light years away, give or take. So I don't know where he's getting these numbers.
Okay.
equilibrate the temperature so uniformly.
So in a Big Bang model, there should be some lumpiness in the early expanding universe. That lumpiness is hot and cold. And
It
since
should be. You can't escape it.
since those places aren't causally connected to each other ever, because they're actually expanding away from each other faster than the speed of light, you can't get the hot to go over to the cold and the cold to go over to the hot. Actually, that's not. But you can't get the hot to spread out everywhere.
Wait
Right.
a minute. The expansion wouldn't affect that, right?
Uh,
Why would it?
well, because the light has to travel through expanding space.
Okay. Okay.
If the space is expanding in between, then and the light can't get from point A to point B quick enough,
So
as
is
it's
he
expanding between point A and point B.
okay? Wouldn't the universe have to be a little bit lumpy in the very beginning in order for gravity to coalesce and form stars?
Yeah, it has to be there. There has to be some anisotropies there, and that's actually
Right.
some evidence that in the beginning there were these quantum fluctuations that ultimately were enhanced, for lack of a better word, and those are the little unevenness that we see in the CMB today, and those ultimately gave rise to the density perturbations that gravitate into stars and galaxies and things like that.
Okay. Is Brainbug here? Brainbug here?
Brainbug is in. He said his buzzes, or I'm sorry, she said her buzzes.
What? So Brainbug is here.
In the past, yes. I mean today.
What?
Did I not put a link out? I thought I put a link out.
Is Brainbug here? Is Brainbug in the chat right now? That's what
It wasn't a second ago.
He was earlier. I don't know about now.
Anyway, Brainbug. I found
I keep saying he, but she.
I found the name of our. I found the name of our
Oh.
fly.
She's here.
Pachycilla celtodismama. That is the name of our.
mama.
That's the name of our fly. So anyway, so you could look that up.
Pachycilla, makes me think of pachyderm, which I know isn't a thing anymore, but it used to be. So I'm thinking of elephants,
Pachycilla. Let's see.
which is your bug is a Pachycilla celta dismama.
Yeah. Yep. It's a dismama. Anyway, okay. So back to the thing. Exposing distant starlight. Okay. Okay, we ready?
Sure.
You can't help. It's a Big Bang under quantum theory. It's going to have very uneven temperatures to start with, but now we look at the universe as very even. The background is extremely even, and there's not enough time to get that equilibrium. That's a huge problem for the Big Bang. It's called the.
Okay, is the background radiation that even? Is it completely even?
It's pretty even, but it's not exactly even. Like I said,
Like-
there are some small density perturbations here and there.
So is what he's saying really a problem? That it's a
It's not so much a problem as it is just it would have to be it would be a major coincidence is what it is. In vanilla Big Bang cosmology, it would be basically the universe started out remarkably uniform and still is remarkably uniform, which is kind of pretty unlikely. So it's not so much a fundamental issue as it is kind of a what's really going on here kind of thing.
Okay, this is the picture that everybody sees for the background radiation, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't look even. Are those temperature fluctuations?
Yeah, but
what's that unit?
they're very magnified. Like you can see there, it's like less than a degree variance. It's pretty small.
Yeah, but there is
It's
variance.
Kelvin.
That's all you
Yeah.
need is some variance. So,
Yeah, there is some variance there.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Horizon problem. The evolutionary cosmologists say this is a huge headache for cosmology, and they've got a lot of weird and wonderful ways of trying to get around this problem.
Yeah, they don't work very well. But what we can say is that
Don't they?
naturalism, just strictly using
We
scientific
came up with some
laws,
solutions.
has problems even in the Big Bang model.
And some
Yeah,
secular
and that doesn't make your
cosmologists,
position any more correct.
Wait, why would that be a problem for naturalism? That sounds like just a problem within naturalism. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a problem for naturalism in general. It's just a problem with the theories. You know, we haven't figured something out. Problem for naturalism.
Yeah, it says nothing about one's approach to
You know,
reality.
what are we talking about?
to study
We're just
the
humans.
universe, they are being very critical. Huge numbers signed a letter saying that the Big Bang is not good science. It requires lots of fudge factors.
Huge numbers of scientists are saying this.
No, he's kind of cherry picking there.
Yeah.
And if to be honest, I have a feeling that where he's getting that from is specifically
So Cordova.
the solution to the horizon problem, which is inflationary cosmology, kind of in addition to the standard Big Bang model. So if you see like cosmologists in general don't have a problem with the Big Bang, it's pretty set in stone there. It's just whether or not we're still trying to resolve the details over how exactly the earliest moments of that phase began.
Do you have a fly again, Scott?
No, I was just, I was trying to get my hands in the view just to see, how waving, worked. But anyway, I was just imitating that guy. But yeah, when you see me do that at other times, yeah, it's definitely because I keep getting flies in the house because of my sweet little dog down there.
Because I want
He
you
always
to
wants out.
catch them, freeze them, and send them to me.
I will.
All my relatives are sending me bugs now.
I'll mail you some bugs.
And I mean, this is the problem with pointing out any issues in Big Bang cosmology or evolution for that matter. Just finding holes in our understanding does not automatically mean that everything else that does fit with the model disappears outright.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Beyond the horizon problem and some other minor issues, like there is a lot of data that agrees with the basic Big Bang picture. So you can't just ignore that for sake of, oh, well, it doesn't fit everything, because no theory fits all the data all at one moment.
Bree, how are you today?
Hey, Bree.
Hey, I'm all right. I had to come in because you guys were asking for me.
Yep. Yeah. So I identified that fly, and the tree I have is called a hackberry, and it is that particular. It's not a fly. Hemiptera. That's a true bug, right? So that's
Right.
not a fly. Yeah. So I managed to identify it and identify the plant, which is kind of cool. And then if you watch the beginning of our stream, somewhere I show a picture of one of those little guys hatched,
Mhm.
and he was running around struggling. I had him at 180 power, and he was trying to run into one of the little hairs on the plant, and the hairs looked like giant trees to him. So he kept.
Well, I had
bumping
mentioned that I
together.
thought it looked like a true bug in the face, but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I got some pretty good pictures that I showed earlier in this stream. So
Cool.
So there's
yeah.
isn't that just a no true bugs fallacy?
no true bugs fallacy.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
not a
oh,
real
because it's
bug.
a true bug. Hemiptera is true bugs is the common name for it. So yeah, anything else would be not a true bug, or you call that a
Yeah,
fallacy.
that's what they all say.
Yeah.
What's
It's
the
a
difference
bug,
between a
but
bug
it's
and an
not a
insect?
true bug.
They all think they're a true bug.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
the
the only
difference
true
between
bug.
bug and insect?
Insects are all insects is the clade insecta, but bugs used academically would be true bugs, would be Hemiptera, but or not, and I'm not saying Hymenoptera, which is flies and
Yeah.
bees and wasps. It's a different group. It means it's hemi, as in divided in half, HEMI, and then ptera, wings, which most of the clades have ptera on the end of them. Coloptera for the beetles, Hymenoptera, Diptera, which actually says the P sound on that one, is the flies, which we were actually looking into for this particular clade last night.
They have two wings. Diptera is it?
Diptera can have 2 or 4 wings. I don't think there's very many left with 4 wings, though.
Okay, but is that where the dye comes from in Diptera?
Yeah, but they have when you look at like a house fly or any other fly, really, they still have the remnants of their former wings that are like little rudders on their sides that turn and twist to help them steer. That's why they're so hard to hit. And some of them actually have what would be true wings, or could be considered true wings on those in those places as well. But yeah, the dye is for 2. You are correct.
What's going on
But-
in the chat right now?
Where was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, but bugs can be used colloquially to mean any arthropod. So yeah.
Oh, so Simon.
Like creepy crawlies. Oh,
Yeah, all creepy crawly life. That's a good way to put it. All right, I didn't mean to come here and
dragging an
steamroll
echo?
the conversation, though. I did want to address that about the
we
bug. I'm so
appreciate
happy
your
we put that
phylogenetic and arthropod based knowledge, Bree.
Yeah, it's always welcome. You're
Yeah.
always welcome.
Okay,
Right.
so Simo's Funk linked this CP violation. Is that what they're talking about?
Well, as far as I'm aware, CP violation has to do with the kind of matter antimatter asymmetry, but I might be wrong there.
Yeah, you have to get you have to get consent, informed consent from the CP.
Hackberry psyllid is the proper name for them. Really cool.
Yeah.
Hackberry.
I'm gonna look into them, learn more about them. They're tiny, huh?
Or yeah, they're like the size of a grain of salt. I magnified it 180 times. I had to put on my second lens, and it's really hard to get it to focus at that magnification. So I had to keep adjusting it back and forth. But I got pretty good
So
pictures.
cool.
Yeah, let's all get a GoFundMe together and get Speed a electron microscope for Christmas.
Yes, I need.
That would be amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
You'd have to make a whole new channel just for that.
Yeah. I wish this microscope had a fine and a coarse focus, and it does not. And it's you got to be really careful with it.
Yeah.
And
All
at
right.
that magnification, if I just touched the microscope, the thing moved.
Enough
so-
about bugs, though. I want to hear more about stars, and I want to get our
Yeah.
guest here.
Let's go stars. Go
Mhm.
stars. Yeah, I'm doing this for Andrew because he's whining.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
like listening to Andrew
Oh.
talk about stars, though.
He whines.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
There you go.
to try to get it to conform to observation.
All right, but I know there's other issues that Big Bang has with explaining things.
So
Now, this is the standard Big Bang model. I mean, the Big Bang model has inflation, which is how they try to solve the horizon problem is to have space-time itself expand much faster than the speed of light. I think you looked it up, increased by a factor of 10 to the power of 78, you found out.
But people have a hard time grasping big numbers like that.
Mhm.
Most people can understand a billion. A billion is a big number, but it's like the limit to how big our brains will go. But 10 to the 78th is a billion times 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 a billion, almost times a billion. That number is
Times a
magically large. They're saying that the whole universe just instantly.
I don't think most people can't grasp a billion.
And
Most people can't get past a million. I mean, that's been my understanding anyway. Isn't that
It's
most
very, very difficult to grasp 1,000 even.
Yeah,
Unless you're looking at something.
to even conceptualize it like in detail.
billions?
I
I mean, but if you take like how many millions of seconds are in a year or whatever, and then compare
Yeah.
how many billions of seconds. Or how
I sincerely hope their argument here isn't just, oh, big numbers, we're just making stuff up. I hope they go more in depth than this.
So Dave suggests that they may be selling electron microscopes in Russia. In
Oh.
garage
Possible.
Yeah.
It's not like Putin's using them or anything.
Microscope. Oh
Did
my
I say macroscope? Oh,
I think they did.
What did who said microscope? Okay.
It took 1/quintillionth of a femtosecond.
Yeah.
People don't even know what a femtosecond means. And a quintillionth of that, we cannot measure time.
So
That-
his point is what?
And so
That's
they're
freaky.
saying that the universe expanded by billions and billions and billions of
Ooh,
fold.
so we can't even imagine it, so it couldn't have happened. Is that what he's saying? What the?
I hope not.
I think that's what he's saying.
Unimaginable.
argument from incredulity a little
I
bit.
don't call that science.
Appeal to
Oh, he
common
doesn't call that science
Wait,
because
go. Okay, let's hear that again.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what a bozo!
And so
That's
they're
freaky.
saying that the universe expanded by billions and billions and billions of fold in an unimaginably short amount of time. I don't call that science. I call that
Yeah,
magic.
because how do
Well,
you start?
Listen here.
He calls it magic.
Science is not about what appeals to your intuition, my friend.
Right.
And you, of all people, should know that
Oh my god, I can't believe he actually
as
said
a
that.
scientist.
What an idiot! Well, this guy isn't very bright. This Robert Carter. I've
Well-
listened to him talk about biology.
I guess you would say,
I-
in cosmology, you deal with a lot of math, right? So I
Yes,
guess the
yes.
question is the math facts that you use or the actual numbers that you use, how much in question are they? But when you begin to start doing math based upon those established numbers, there's really nothing else you can do if, by, looking at the calculations, you come up with a femtosecond and 100,000 billion years or whatever, or light years.
Right. Well, I mean, like in quantum physics, you have ridiculously small numbers that are fundamental constants, like Planck's constant, for example. It's a very tiny number. If we applied his logic there, then apparently one of the foundational constants of quantum mechanics, which, by the way, is extremely important for most technological advances today, is just wrong.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So,
What the hell? I mean, like, yeah, quantum mechanics, totally non-intuitive. I mean,
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too.
I can't believe he said that.
Oh, yeah. And I like what Simos Funk says here. It's a model to explain some aspects of the universe. It isn't built to explain away or to save the Big Bang. The Big Bang is good on itself. It's just an addition to solve some of the problems that it doesn't deal with, which is like any other scientific model. So, I don't know. What else does he have to say?
Good for you, Scott. Psychotherapy. That microscope thing, I'm worried.
Yeah, apparently there's some issues going on. And
Okay. Rolling.
How do you get to stop? And how do you control how fast it
Yeah.
goes? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
How do you
it's
control
not.
how fast
You
it
can't do
goes?
that. Do it in the lab and show me it's real science. Of course, they can't.
Wait. Create a universe in the lab and show me that it's real.
I'm pretty sure they probably accept the expansion of the universe outright, and we can't observe that here in the laboratory. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. In fact, we wouldn't expect it to exist here in the laboratory because the physical conditions don't produce expanding space according to our best models. So,
I'll still be listening. I'm gonna pop out though. I gotta run to the store.
okay.
All right, Bree. Thanks for coming in and enlightening us.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I picked out this video because it's getting me all fired up.
Oh my god! Oh, I
That's what we're here for, Andrew.
I know I'm making this all about me, huh?
He basically just asked for us to produce. Okay, it's the same with evolution. Show us evolution in the lab. Show us the Big Bang in a test tube.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be problematic. I think
it would. It would be
Really
counter to what
problematic.
we would expect.
it would kill us, for one, if we could do it. But I don't know how we'd do it. Okay, let's
Give me a physical principle why you'd expect it to expand at that rate for that amount of time. There's nothing. There's nothing in physics that says this should happen. I mean, when I drop something, I know why it falls. We call that
God.
We
gravity.
have the math behind this.
Yeah.
We have models behind this. I mean, he's just looking at the superficial outline of this at this point. This is infuriating, to be honest.
Okay, you gotta consider his audience, and his audience are people that believe that there's a spook in the sky, and and I don't
People don't care about math.
It's a sky daddy. I don't care how you put it. You can't tell me it's that you don't believe there's a sky daddy.
And if you want to go for the people out there who are actually interested in this, if you want to go learn more about inflation, type up or Google old inflation or new/slow roll inflation or eternal inflation, just things like that, which he probably is not going to even go over here. So,
or go to my website where I have topics on that, or make your own topic too, and post anything you want. That
Slow
relates
roll
in those
inflation?
things.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
24/7. Website.
Okay. Let's roll.
Scientific law controls the Big Bang. Nothing.
And yet they might criticize the creation
Wait,
of
what
the
did this
creation models for saying that God stretched out the expanse that were here on day 2, probably continued doing that till on day 4, where the
Okay, what in physics says that God stretched out the skies? So
Yeah, you're kind of working with there wasn't a day 1 or a day 2 like in the Bible. It's just silly.
we're not going to get very far, are we?
probably not, but
luminaries
we're having fun with it.
created. And we can say, well, God is outside of time. God created space. He created time, and therefore light, speed is distance over time. So
Oh,
God's
so that
not
makes
limited by the
sense.
speed of light. So we actually have a cause for super fast expansion. They have no cause. They've got magic only.
Yeah, magic. In fact, if you look at the numbers, it's something like
We know what causes expansion.
Holy fuck. They got magic.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude here, but these guys are supposed to be the experts in astronomy on the panel here, and they're talking out of their mouth.
Their butts, their asses. Okay,
Yeah.
Just say that. Okay, Jesus Christ. He just explained a magic cause for the universe, and he said that that's their idea, that we got a God that's outside of space and time, and he created the universe. And then they said, but all you got is magic.
Yeah, their argument is my magic is better than your magic.
Right.
Yeah, because my magic is simpler to understand. It's not like these big numbers,
Well, you shouldn't have to do calculations with magic.
Oh, my
That's the
goodness.
thing.
These guys, I can't see what I mean.
Unless you relate it to real life.
And somehow they got PhDs. Did they buy them? I mean, what the fuck?
something that's 1 nanometer in size, so smaller than an atom, is going to expand to something more than 10 light years in size, like that.
How big is
What is your argument here? You're not making an argument.
No.
So obviously, this is expanding faster than the speed of light. Radically.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff here, but just what he said. Space today, if you, in a certain sense, is and always has been expanding faster than the speed of light. Because if you start on Earth and you look out into space, the galaxies appear to be receding away from us at a certain distance greater than c, the speed of light. So even today, that's a thing. It's not a fundamental issue here.
Space is a medium, not a fundamental particle. Is that what we're saying?
Well, actually, we don't really know what space is, to be honest. It's kind of just we know how to model it, but we don't actually know what space or time are fundamentally.
And
the
the idea
issues
is
of physics, though.
that light can only go as fast as the speed of light if it's in a vacuum, but that's not restrained. Space isn't restrained to that.
Right, yeah. If things within space are restrained by the rules of special relativity, including the speed of light limit, but space itself isn't in space, and fundamentally, not the thing is nothing is actually moving. Space isn't moving. It's just it's getting larger. The scale of space is changing. And that's allowed by general relativity, which includes special relativity and the speed of light limit.
Somebody needs to do a little more reading.
How much does SpaceX charge for to get in a rocket and leave this fucking planet?
Probably less if you don't want to come back.
Yeah, I think what does a one-way trip cost? Because I'm really thinking about it.
You know, I've got this really powerful trebuchet that'll get you there
You think?
if you want me to.
Sure. We'll talk.
I want you to stay away from the creationists so you don't have to hear them.
Model is not based on science. It's a way to explain data,
Not based on
but there's no physical backing to it.
And there are other people who think this is rubbish. Let's assume instead that light itself was moving much faster.
May I say, Dannykins?
Bang, like Joao Magui.
You can if you want.
He said it's a way to explain data, but there's no physical backing to it. Wouldn't data be that physical backing?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what all scientific models are?
It's a way to explain data, but there's no data to it. He's saying there's no data to it.
Right.
You're killing me. And this is killing me. You're killing me, Andrew. Just
You're
killing me.
killing me, Smalls.
Magajo from Portugal.
Wait, go back a bit. I want to hear what he said. Or just like 10 seconds, I think.
Let's assume instead that light itself was moving much faster close to the Big Bang, like Joao Magajo from Portugal. He said that light was 60 orders of magnitude. Now that means 10 to the power of 60 times more than it is now. Now, some early creationist models presume that we could solve the distance side problem by having speed light much faster in the past. Oh, these guys are heretics. Don't you know that light can't change?
So who are they talking about? He said it was like
Some Portuguese guy.
okay. Do you know anything about that guy, Andrew?
That guy specifically? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I will say he seems to be proposing a variable speed of light, it seems, towards the early universe.
yeah.
One scientist.
There are more than one, but it's not the most widely accepted idea.
So they went to the pub one night, and one guy said, maybe this light changes.
Well-
and then the other guy went, that sounds logical. And they wrote a paper.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Oh, we just got an aside from Large Hadron Collider upgrade revolutionary. So what are they doing? They're upgrading it to make it faster, better, stronger.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
You mean taking something made of technology and upgrading the technology?
Yeah,
That's controversial.
that is controversial. Okay, I'll link that in the description. But go ahead.
Yeah, particle
Using
physics.
light much faster to rescue the Big Bang. We can't rescue Genesis this way, but we can rescue the Big Bang that way, and that's apparently okay.
Now, to be fair, though, audience,
Mhm.
most
These guys
people
are
at
just
CMI,
whining.
in fact, I don't think anyone at CMI that I'm aware of thinks that light speed was faster in the past. We call that the Setterfield hypothesis now.
Mhm.
If you look in Journal of Creation, some of the older articles on creation.com, you'll find a lot of discussion on this. In fact, it almost filled up several journals of creation issues back 20 years or so ago.
I remember that argument.
That's how long it goes.
Yeah, but most of us have not adopted that as a solution, but it is still possible. We just in physics can't explain it.
Well, it's a case of we think it's not a heretical thing in principle. We just don't think.
Well, wait. Okay, if I just use his logic there, I could say,
Right.
well, inflation is possible, but we just haven't a physical
Right.
mechanism, like which we sort of kind of actually do. But besides the point,
He just basically suggested using what he had just criticized when
Right.
we used it, right? Yeah. And around and around we go.
oh, when you use it for your stuff, it's wrong. But when I use it for my stuff, it's perfectly reasonable.
But you got to understand where they're getting their basic facts is from this parchment that was written 2,000, 3,000 years ago.
It's confirmation bias is what it is.
Yeah, that's where they're getting their facts. So, I mean, do we get any of our facts by digging up old documents from 4,000 or 2,000 BC?
Only if you're a
unless you're into
historian.
archaeology.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we don't get our science from that, like our molecular
Yeah.
biology. We don't get it from parchments that we dug up in the ground. And all of those people in the past were so smart.
Well, I guess the only exception would be in the historical aspect. Here's how people used to do science. Now we're doing science differently.
Yeah.
Kind of just to provide an example. But beyond that, yeah.
This is why they want a theocracy. This is why their whole plan is to push this shit down our throat, because then we can't question it, right? Then we have to stop with the Bible, because the Bible's so weak, and their evidence is so weak, and their basis is so weak that they're going to have to force feed it to us.
Yeah, these guys want to be head of the Ministry of Science.
Yeah.
If there were ever
Okay.
such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Problem. You can never make it work.
But there's at least, I don't know, 4 different creationist ideas to explain this light speed paradox
4?
problem.
And all of them don't work.
And they're
And then
inadequate.
after him
Yeah.
comes Russell Humphreys with his white
Oh,
hole
boy.
cosmology, which is really interesting.
Okay, here, just let's listen to the section about the thing if we can, and then once they're done talking about that specific model, then we'll go over it. We might be able to go faster by it then. How about
Okay.
The
Sounds like a
idea
plan.
that if the entire universe was collapsed into a ball, you're in a giant black hole where there's essentially no time. And if God starts expanding that material, when that material leaves the black hole, time speeds up radically, except inside the black hole. If the Earth is inside this ball as it's shrinking because it's getting smaller as things are leaving, then how do we say it? The universe could be billions of years old, or billions of years could happen outside the Earth. And then when the event horizon passes Earth, boom, now we see stars.
Well, yes. I mean, when we ask about how old is something, you've got to ask according to which clocks. I mean, the Bible is according to Earth clocks. It doesn't mean that galactic clocks might be ticking much faster during this expansion during Creation Week.
Yeah.
And Humphrey's model is perfectly
blabbering
relativity.
fantasy.
Relativity is a friend to creation; it's not an enemy.
That's right.
And the equations of
when
relativity
you
are
misuse it, yes.
reversible. So if the equations for a black hole are valid, then so are the equations for a white hole. It's a case of whether we can get a white hole naturalistically. That's the hard part.
Well, you
I think,
couldn't naturalistically, even though they do bleed energy because of quantum tunneling, but it would take longer than the age of any possible universe to get the stuff back outside the black hole again, and you wouldn't have matter, there'd be energy outside it.
Good old Hawking radiation.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. All right, so that's 2. We got to
Well, he is
Humphreys, white hole cosmology.
he is correct there that white holes are unstable. I'll give him that.
But why not just say God via his own magic did it? I mean,
But just about 10 minutes ago, he was criticizing physics doing, coming up with theories that match the data. And what he's doing is coming up with theories that match the 2,000-year-old parchment.
Right.
So I mean, what's good for the goose? But I mean, the 2,000-year-old parchment doesn't even begin to register as something we would consider as a source document for what is going on in the world. I guess. I don't know. I guess if you just believe that bullshit to begin with.
I guess at this point, let's just sum it up. Lots of people have tackled Humphrey's cosmology or creationist cosmology, and there are lots of problems with it. It'd be a whole other video to go over them.
Humphrey's creationist cosmology, eh?
Why are we caring about what they say when we got real people that can talk about the real things?
Well, because if they're saying something, then you know someone's going to be listening, and if someone is listening, then it tends to spread.
Why don't we just spread the real stuff instead of just caring about what other people's misunderstandings are? We can acknowledge it, but then we could bring up the real thing too. I guess we're kind of doing that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that's.
You want to
that's
retire this one for the day, and maybe we'll all go listen quietly and privately.
Okay.
And meditate on it.
Sorry, have I added too much cosmology to the stream today?
No, not at
No,
all.
you haven't.
Andrew, you're so defensive. We love it when you bring content to the live stream.
Yes, we do love it.
Well,
I was talking
in
about
that
this for our
case,
stress levels too, so we don't have problems with people getting on our nerves. Yeah, so we don't have to concentrate on them.
I need to go
Concentrate on
for
the
a
real
walk
thing.
in the woods. I need to go for a walk in the woods to feel better about this. That is a what is that? A water weed? I think I forget what the hell the name of it is. Yeah, this is down below my house. This is the wetland, and this is that green out there is a stream that feeds into it. It'll all be green. It's all green now. But when I filmed this, that was the first part of spring happening, and when I walked down my 100-foot hill, it's 100-foot elevation, I found out. And when I walk down there, I end up in this beautiful, beautiful little walk. And there's a really neat.
Trees are everywhere. I mean, knocked down.
See the stream? And that's the Minnesota River wetlands.
Yeah, Speed knocks the trees down when he goes for a walk. That's just part of his workout.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. There's the stream I go and sit by and meditate. And it's awesome. And I found some agates in there, and I found what I think is a fossil, but it looks like a fern, but it's pretty crazy.
I love the fern fossils.
Yeah, that's kind of looking up toward the house, or where the house is, up on the hill. Pretty neat. I love streams. Streams are awesome.
Streams are very calming.
Yeah.
It's like ASMR.
Yep. This is all
Andrew.
sandstone.
So Andrew, before I accidentally interrupted you, what were you going to say?
Oh, I don't remember, to be honest. But that's okay. I'm just looking something up right now. Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm looking at this Talk Origins thing where it lists some of the problems with Humphrey's cosmology.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Thing is, cosmology is something that it's so non-intuitive and abstract. It's on the other end of quantum mechanics, right? And I think we've done better with quantum mechanics than we've done with cosmology so far, because it is also strange and non-intuitive.
Yeah,
Seems pretty easy for me.
I guess it's more intuitive to some people than others, and quantum mechanics vice versa. So
get the music ready, Speed.
Depends.
I do have space simulators too, so I can see it a little bit easier in
those are awesome.
into variables.
This isn't what I signed up for.
There it is.
What song is that?
Hager.
That was
Game Grumps Ultimate Grump XL.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it, John! Oh, shit!
My
That's
that
my
son,
is-
reaction whenever Gura comes on board.
yeah, my
I can see that.
son's recorded me when one of your streams started one night, and that was it. That's what they recorded. No, it's what I signed up for.
Hey, Speed.
Yeah.
I just posted a link to a Talk Origins page about some of the big issues with the white hole cosmology. If you
I
can
will
put that in the description, please.
So in other words,
throw that in.
Talk Origins has quite old material on there, so that's been refuted for like ever, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name of this is Fast Old Light. Fast Old Light.
Oh yeah. I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a pretty picture.
We got a
They do
lot
have
of
a good page on all the various creationist claims that have been put forward over the years. I really like it. At least as a general summary guideline.
Now, Mr. Mania, how are you, sir?
I am doing well. How are you? I've been sick last week or so.
Okay, I was concerned
better.
because you weren't on this weekend, and I found myself wondering, well, where the hell is Gurmania? And I would look. I think maybe there's a live stream going on now, and there wasn't. And it just concerned me. It weighed heavily on my mind this weekend.
I'm sure it did.
what
Yeah,
kind of-
I thought
what
about-
kind of sick. Were you COVID sick?
Oh no, just a cold.
I'm gonna put a mask on my computer. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
what
that way
people
we
should
won't
do.
catch anything.
that's what people should do now. Yeah, no, I just I came down with a cold last Thursday, and I started to feel better maybe on Wednesday. No, I'd say probably by Wednesday. I started to feel better. Still dealing with it. Still taking medicine like Sudafed, Mucinex, all that good stuff. But I feel better now than I did earlier today. Earlier today, I felt really congested, but as the day progresses, I seem to get better, and then it resets the next day. I'm sorry, Speed. What was that?
So I warned you not to go on Gur streams, that you would catch something, and obviously I was right. You caught
We
something.
have to admit that Speed was right on this.
Yeah, I was right on that.
So I got sick on my own stream. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you caught something.
I did. I gave it to myself.
Well, I'm not saying you're the source of it. I'm saying your streams are the source of it.
Yeah, they're highly contagious.
Well,
you gotta wear a hazmat suit.
So
I
I
looked
understand.
at-
Like the Bubble Boy movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
I've looked at some of your demonic concoctions of a panel, and seeing that panel all together in one place, I thought, I'm going to catch something if I watch this shit.
Gonna catch something unwelcome.
I've had a good panel the last two
Never.
streams. Give or take one or two people, but yeah.
Well, speaking of which, I know I left early last stream last night. Did Sal ever come back by any chance?
He did, but it was not for long, and he really didn't have a lot that he wanted to say or add. So
That's
I think he was
unfortunate.
terrified that Andrew was on the stream.
yeah, I think so.
So, Gra, I hear that yesterday there was like a kind of a ruckus started about Islam because you left for a few minutes to take care of something,
Well,
or
It's not because I left, but I always seem to leave right before things go cuckoo. Like this is the third time, I think.
maybe you need to set up all your equipment like closer to the bathroom, closer to the
bedroom.
coffee maker and the refrigerator, and keep your Kleenex right next to you so that when you have a runny nose, you don't have to go anywhere.
Let's not forget that correlation does not equal causation.
This
So
is
what the
very
hell-
true.
What was this? I met a man who wasn't there. So you
Oh,
you just got done with a stream an hour ago?
Yeah,
Yep, I did.
4 hours.
And I commented in your side chat for this stream while I was doing it.
yeah. And then yesterday you mentioned that you were going to do a 1 or 1:30 stream.
Yes, and then I was late. I did change my intro a little bit.
Why does your
So-
intro look so depressing? No offense.
It shows my.
You know what I really like, Grub, was that image of the skull with the glowy green eye
Yeah.
sockets.
Now
That
I didn't
was
make
just-
that, but yes, it's just I found that recently, and I thought, man, that is awesome. I want
Are you in league with Skynet Gur?
Maybe I am. That's
You never know.
classified.
I'm
Maybe
not telling.
not.
I'll never tell.
Yeah, but no, it's yes. Last night was a interesting stream. Today was just kind of all right, nothing crazy. But yesterday it went a little.
Whoops.
went a
Off the
little
rails.
cuckoo. Yeah.
Another unrailed stream.
And Jay Pasick joined the stream, and then it, for whatever reason, then it really went downhill. I haven't even reviewed the parts that I was not there for.
Now, how far in did Pixie Streams throw the bomb?
Let me see. That's a good question.
What was the bomb?
It has something to do with Islam. From what I've gathered,
That there are some nice Muslims. Wasn't that
Some?
the issue?
I think so. I think
Or a lot
from
of
what
nice Muslims.
from what I understand, the rage was going at it from like a very hardcore, like anti-Islam, not the people, but anti-Islam ideology.
Anti-religion. Yeah.
And somebody was saying, well, there are decent Muslims out there, and for whatever reason, that just snowballed into a dumpster fire. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not blaming anyone here. I'm just saying that's what happened. So yeah, it was interesting. And when I came back, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" That's what I was saying.
What
mentally.
monster have I created?
I know. I leave the stream for 10 minutes, and it goes crazy.
It was your platform, man.
Yeah, I've got to stop stepping away. This has to be at least the third time when I've stepped away, and there's been another stream in response to the parts where I was not present for. But yeah, what's up, secular pagan mom? I just want to say hello to her in the side chat. Yeah, blue-footed booby.
You blue-footed booby.
Chinese.
That must be some sort of Wiccan curse.
You know what? That makes sense, Scott. By the way, Scott, I like your hat. I'm digging it. I like the color.
Well, thank you. Anything to not show off my ugly hair.
Well, you make
I
up for
was
it with
actually
the
going to
beard.
ask, how many different colored hats do you have? Because I've seen a red one, I've seen blue one, I've seen
Does
black
gray
one.
count as a different color from black?
Sure, why not?
See, I've got black, I've got charcoal, I've got gray, then I've got
Sure,
a blue,
why not?
a red, and then a Stetson fedora that is straw.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I went
That's
on
awesome.
a thing. I went on a little craze for a while when I was into ballroom dancing, where I would wear various hats to various events.
Oh,
That's
okay,
cool.
Scott, don't hate me for this, but I can't resist. Hat man.
Oh, there you go. I can't blame
I'm
you for that. In fact,
sorry.
I'm smiling. That's pretty cool.
So
I'm an Adam West fan.
I thought I would have streamed over today's stream with speed, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And also, I was tired, and I thought it was so funny. The last time I streamed over speed, I was sniping his stream, and then he sniped my stream. So it was really hilarious, and that
It
was
was
well
a
played.
720-degree snipe.
Yes, and I don't think I ever told you that, Speed. That was a well played.
Yeah,
very
I was
quickly-
like, I wanted you to come in because I was going to ask you a question. I was going to ask you, Gur, do I run the weather report on Wednesday? And then, Gur, are you running a fucking stream on Wednesday, Gur?
I don't normally do that, but if
Yeah,
I have an
yeah.
off day, if I have an opportunity, I will take it just because I don't get many of them.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's see
I
what
just
he
wanted to
comes
mention
out.
real quick that Simus has a note here that Randolph, who is Randolph Richardson, is Atheism's tire
Grandfather.
store manager who always gets you a great deal on snow tires. and he has a
Ooh,
debate
debate.
tonight on Islam.
I'm glad you reminded me of that. I will be watching that tonight because I'm not streaming tonight, so that's what I'll be
I
watching.
thought he was the president of atheism last I heard.
He is a-
That too. He wears many hats, and we
He's,
just want to recognize him for all he does for atheism.
isn't he
Plus,
also?
is it tomorrow that he's or is it Sunday that he's having his fortnightly thing where theists come on and try to convince us that there
That's a
just
good
may be a
question. I
God?
don't know.
I think it's this weekend, so I think it's on the 15th, which is tomorrow, Sunday. So I
he
think
is-
that'll be on Sunday. But check your local listings and find out, because his fortnightly things are very interesting.
He is also the father of atheism. I understand.
Well, there you go. He looks like a dad right there.
He looks like a dad there. Yes, that's true.
I think that's a younger picture, or maybe that's an older picture. I don't know.
Yeah, if you
Both
put him in
older
a
and younger.
yeah.
And Scott, I like the way you've been abusing this new word that you've learned. Fortnightly.
Well, see,
Fortnight.
I've learned from atheism's dad.
I did too, to be honest.
That's
with
his
you.
word, and I'm just wanting to carry it on.
There is no such thing as a fucking fortnight. Stop it.
And then we have our Fortnite skeptics.
Hey,
Or there's a game called Fortnite.
Okay, link
That's
that in the
what I know.
description if anybody wants to. If anybody doesn't know how to use the Google.
the Google.
Yeah, the
Do you know how to
Google.
use the Google?
The Google.
Google it.
Use the Google.
Now,
Well, guys-
if anybody's having trouble with their Google, I know a Google repairman who's willing to come to your
A
house for a
Googleologist.
small fee.
He's a
Oh, yeah.
Googleologist.
Yeah. I was. One of them called me a Google repairman, but he had his Indian accent was so thick I couldn't quite understand what he was asking for. I was trying
Yeah.
to give him my credit card. I ended up hanging up on him. Like,
Now, kids, when your little Google gets sick, you want to give it a nice cup of warm tea. You want to lay it under a nice warm blanket and pillow, and
I keep arguing with my son. It's like, why in the fuck should I use Google when I could just ask you? It's like- and he's like, Google it.
Because I'll just go Google it.
My girlfriend will do that every now and then. She'll ask me a question, and I'm like, why don't you just Google it? That's a simple question to
what-
be answered.
Yeah, why would I do that? Why would she do that when she could just ask you?
Now, don't get me wrong. I do have all the answers, so I'll give her that. But it just seems like it'd be quicker if you just Google it.
Yeah, I
wouldn't it
mean,
be funny if
Don't
you ask
go.
someone to do that and they just say, "Oh, just go goggle it."
yeah. Well, that was fake news, Gur. So I'm gonna shoot it in the head.
Well, I got something to show you, Speed.
When
So now that I've joined, it's. Oh, I'm sorry. I was over talking. Go ahead.
we want to shoot it in the head, Top Dog.
It's just a quick thing that Rebecca's
Oh, sure.
stream a while back, May 9th.
Is that the one about design?
Yeah.
What is this
Can we recognize God's design
Oh,
with Matt Bailey?
I see.
And
you
what
made
is
a
it?
comment
I-
there.
My top, I guess it's on my thing. It shows the top.
so what is
comment.
Matt Bailu? First of all, tell me.
I don't
who
know.
he is.
I keep meaning to watch that video, but I haven't yet. My intentions are pure.
I commented, do you think tornadoes are designed by your God or nature and natural processes make them? And then she replies with a great question. I think tornadoes are an example of nature gone wrong. I don't think God designed tornadoes.
What?
That's
Oh,
an
do
I
you
don't think
interesting
God
thing.
designed tornadoes.
I thought you said tomatoes.
Oh.
You never had a tornado sandwich?
Hmm.
Yummy.
But see, I can't have bread anymore. Damn it.
Oh, are you low carbing it?
Well, no, it's like a no choice low carb thing
Oh, okay. I got you.
where if I don't, I will die sooner. So
Oh man, I missed an Amy Newman rant. That would have been fun.
Wait.
Oh, okay. So where was that video? Was that on Bread of Life or was that on her evolution?
Yeah.
bread of life.
Bread of life.
Speed, look at the screen. It says Bread of Life right there.
I'm looking at.
Hi,
the-
everyone.
Oh
Welcome.
my
I'm looking at
God.
Google. I'm looking at Google, man.
Look
You
at
told me to Google it.
gurgle.
Google it.
That's gonna be my
Okay, I
search
wanna-
engine.
I need to shoot it in the
Gurgle.
head. I
That's
need
really
to-
hard to say.
Gurgle, gurgle.
You show off.
Okay, guys, we're shooting in the head now. So goodbye, cruel world.
Bye, world.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Goodbye,
Yes.
side chat. You've been great.
Where's the trigger, Rachel? Oh, sorry.
Yes, thank you, everyone out there in the chat, for showing up. I really appreciate it, and I need the encouragement. Just encourage me and see what happens.
You're the best.